All right. You really don't answer your phones very well, or you pay a lot more money for a receptionist to answer your phones who doesn't answer them very well, or they could be answering them well. No, you assume they do. I have a client that just fired their receptionist after 1 month because she wasn't answering half the phone calls and not passing on the correct information to the people in the field. If that's an issue with you, you need to listen to this video. So now let's jump for a moment before we start jumping into AI receptionist. Let's look over my shoulder and wish we were both there. This is live right now in Key West, Florida, and that is the Celebrity Summit. And that smaller boat, which I have yet to do one of those now, is the Patriot. Let me know if you've taken American Cruise Line, I think is what it's called. I think they're pretty expensive, but maybe the price will come down. But that boat right there holds 2,000 plus people. It was built in 2001. I'd love to be on it. Celebrity does a good job. Um, but let's get back into the crux of the situation. I keep stuff like that over my shoulder because A, it interests you, and B, it definitely interests me. We've got a cruise coming up here in a few more weeks. And the reason I can go is because I have an AI receptionist, and she will be there answering my phones 24/7. She will take messages, anything that I need. She will text to me immediately, even if I'm on a ship. Because of Elon Musk, I can answer via Skylink and take care of business. But if it's not really earth shattering, it just can be taken care of when I get back. That's just one of the many reasons. But let's go over 3 reasons every small business should have an AI receptionist. First of all, 24/7 lead capture. Never miss a call, never miss a job. If people don't get answers to questions, if you don't answer the phones, and I mean your AI receptionist counts as you, they're going to go on to the next guy. And they answer correctly, not just answering quickly, but correctly. I cannot, I've got a former customer. When the phone rang for him, he'd go, hello. And I'm going, you sound like an idiot. Why would I hire you as an electrician? And needless to say, the guy's never prospered because never could get him to listen to me. No voicemail drop offs. People get thrown over to voicemail, they are hanging up. Book appointments automatically. Now, if I were you, I would not start here, but we certainly can go there. You want to set it up at the very least so it answers your phones nights and weekends. You forward your main line over to it at night and on the weekends and holidays, and let it take the message, let it screen the calls. And then when you get braver, uh, add on the daytime calling, because that's what I do. I price it out into like 2 segments, AM and PM. My AI receptionist can actually tell the difference between a call coming in at 4:59 and coming in at 5:01, and can definitely tell the difference between one coming in on Friday and one coming in on Saturday. And so uh, that's just beyond. So I would hold off on booking scheduling and stuff, but it handles another thing you can do is on busy days you can have it forward and handle overflow calls. Don't we wish we had that problem? But every phone call gets answered. All right, smart intake. What is smart intake? What is lead qualification? So many people call up and ask really dumb questions. I know it never happens to you, but if you're a plumber, they're going to ask you some stupid question about water on the ground outside their house, and when they really need to be calling a septic tank guy or a drainage company, something, but they don't need to be calling you. Um, they may want, well, I don't know, you fill in the blank. If you've got good questions, good stupid questions, please post them below. But this way it screens them. It also screens people who are trying to sell you something. It screens Google. The day was when Google never called you, ever, not ever. I used to have an account that we spent on one account $51,000 a month, and I could never get a Google person to help me with that. Now, every quarter, every one of my customers that have Google PPC that I manage, I get a phone call from all 10 or 12 of them because they switch every quarter. And so I get 10 or 12 new phone calls every quarter from new people that have taken over that account. And every Google phone call now has to go to my receptionist. I will not answer any of their phone calls. And then we'll go into the why later. Google cannot help you. So it screens the phone calls, screens Google, screens salesmen, screens people trying to sell you AR receptions. It screens people who are going to get you your Google business profile might be messed up. And what happens is after a while, you dread the phone ringing. You're on top of the ladder and you're trying to screw in a socket and the phone rings and you go, oh my God, is this a $10,000 job or is this just spam? So this eliminates that. It helps you keep your mind on what you're doing and running your business. So it also collects the information that needs to be collected, the service type. It filters out, it identifies emergencies. So like in the case of an emergency, it will then say, well, let me forward you to the technician right now. It sends clean structured data to your email, to your CRM, so that you will have it all there. What do I mean by structured data? Name, address, phone number, type of job, what town is it in? Well, I've already said city, but I mean, it'll have it all structured out so that when you go back and look at this data, you've got clean thoughts, you got the clean peace of mind of knowing exactly what the call was about. You forgot to ask them what town they were in. You forgot to ask them when they needed it. AI takes care of all of that. And then finally, automation and integration, not just answering, but collecting important information. It's going to sync with your Google Calendar and Outlook calendar. Like I said, that's something you need to grow into. But right off the bat, we can push it straight into your CRM. I use a product called Zapier. I also use make.com. Those two intermediaries will link any of this data straight to any kind of CRM you may already have, including House Call Pro, Service Titan, any of the ones with the big bells and whistles. And it also triggers text messages. We can program this into a CRM to where it will actually do follow-ups. It'll do reminders to you that person called the day before yesterday. You said you were going to get them an estimate, did you? I mean, how often does that happen? So anyway, you need to make this jump. If you need more, if you have questions about it, just post them below. If this has been of any help to you, don't forget to like it and you know what to do. So anyway, I appreciate your attention.